It's a new day. We got a new package
that we're gonna use this evening. So today we're shooting for a biotech company this afternoon/evening. Today and tomorrow. We're shooting interviews today and we're shooting B-roll tomorrow with 2 actors. And I'm the DP and we have a producer who's gonna also do photo, and he's flying in from Atlanta. So we picked up this piece of gear and I was just hoping it would arrive in time. This wasn't required for the shoot, but this is just something I personally wanted to upgrade. Me and Magnolia really thought a lot about this. And so anyways, this is what we got. I'm really glad we can use it on this shoot. Voila! The Sennheiser MKH 8060.
Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, get into the details.
I wanted a higher quality mic, and I was thinking the MKH 516 or this one. But in audio test, I kind of like this one a little bit better. This is one of the main things I'm most excited about, is how much shorter it is to my other shotgun mic. Because previously, when I would reach in to grab this handle, I would a lot of times grab the mic. So having a shorter one that I could just reach in and there's less in the way, it's really nice. I like it. So let's go use this thing in the field. I got this shoot because I pay to have an account on Production Hub. And a few months back, I got a lead from that paid subscription about a biotech shoot in my area. And I was currently on a shoot with David Moorfield and Adam Kalinowski. And I said, hey guys, I got this lead, as we were driving from one location to another. And they're like, let's brainstorm it together. How should we approach this? What should we send them? And they're like, hey, send them some screenshots from the shoot that we're on right now, because it's a little bit similar. So I did, and then I called them on speaker, and we made a connection, and then I didn't hear anything for about a week, and then a week later, I figured out that I had landed the shoot. But then that shoot got canceled, and then a few months later, they called me back again and said, hey, we're back on, and we want to use you. So here we are. Nick Smith is the producer on this shoot. Super cool guy. I really like him, and I'm going to talk more about him later because he's a very talented guy. But he recorded a bunch of this BTS that you're seeing because they needed it for some internal marketing at his production company. So he shared it all with me, which was super cool. If you remember from a few weeks back, we were working to get our colors really tight on our FS7 and FX30. We needed them to match perfectly in a Rec 709 color profile. This shoot is that reason, because they have very fast turnaround times on this shoot. So this is our first moment where we're using our new Rec 709 look. We got the 600D on the right keying and the 200X filling. And then our new boom, which was sounding really good. And nice, rich depth, which is what I wanted with the voices. I wanted a nice depth to them. Right out the bat, look how close these colors are looking. I'm so happy with that. Both these cameras handle white balance differently, so we made sure to white balance with a white card before doing each of these interviews. We had a total of 4 to do, and we shifted around the room but kept a similar look for each of the interviews. That's looking pretty close, if you ask me. This is Chad Walters. He flew in from another state to be here, and he was just the coolest guy. After we wrapped on our final interview, we were done for today, and Chad would not let me leave the building without helping me move my gear. What a bro. We packed the gear in the car, then headed to a local restaurant to transfer files and review footage. But then we started talking, and Nick told me about this. He has been working on a documentary called Rhino Man for the last 7 years. Him and a crew of other people. And it's a documentary about these guys who are guardians of rhinos, because rhinos are poached a ton and they're quickly running towards being extinct, and these guys defend the rhinos and they're like warriors. And it was such a fascinating story, and he was telling me about how he's been charged by rhinos before and how they've been working on this film for 7 years, and finally they finished it, and it actually just came out a few weeks ago. So this is something you can go and watch on Amazon now, and I just thought this was so cool. It was really cool getting to know Nick. He's such a talented guy. Man, it just blows me away. I'll put a link to this video in the description if you're interested in it. Anyways, let's get back to our dinner. Let's look at some footage. So this is how close we ended up getting them between the two cameras. You can see, yeah, that one's less saturated. So Nick popped a quick little grate on. And made the FS7 a little more contrasty, and then they're a lot closer. So it seems like the FS7 was just a little less contrasted.
Still, I think it's super close. Close enough, I think.
Cool.
Looks great.
Thank you. Give it a quick listen. I'm pretty happy with the results.
When it comes to the life sciences space and pharmaceutical manufacturing, compliance is king. And a big part of that is...
Not bad, right? Now let's take a look at how well the cameras match.
When it comes to the life sciences space and pharmaceutical manufacturing, compliance is king. And a big part of that is...
I am so happy with this. Obviously, the FX30 is handling color a little bit differently, and it needs a little bit of love to match the FS7, but it's super easy to do, and then boom, you're right there. The FS7 didn't even need any color grading at all. I'm regularly noticing on the FX3s and 30s that these monitors are just not accurate. See how saturated that is? This is actually what it looks like on a monitor. This is what it looks like in the camera. And just to test this, I rendered this out and texted it to myself, and it looks the same on my iPhone too. You can see how much flatter it looks and how much more saturated it looks. Like here it looks like maybe I'm a little too red. And then here it's like, oh no, you're totally not. And then obviously I brought up the color a little bit, but yeah, anyways, I'm noticing that consistently on this monitor and when I've shot with A7S3s and FX3s. A little bit off. I don't know. Have you guys noticed that, or is this just me? We're rolling in a little bit lighter today. We're just rocking the 200X because we need to be mobile and we need to be fast. So we're setting up that station over there so we can stage a scene. Nick was pretty badass. He was shooting on a Fujifilm. I don't usually see that in corporate. Fujifilm and a prime lens. I thought that was so cool. And then today we're working with this talent named Cott, and he was just the coolest guy. My friend Clint Chesney linked me up with him, and Cott literally saved this shoot because we had another model step out last minute, and Cott found us a replacement, and she was just awesome. Also, Cott's just such a positive guy, such a great person to work with. He just lifted everyone's mood and made it fun. So I love it. Thank you, Cott. You rock. And thank you, Clint. Like, you really came in clutch introducing us to Cott. So thank you. I appreciate that. After we got that scene, it took a little while to get the shots that we wanted. Then we moved locations. They said it was a short walk, and it was a few blocks away. And this was the Sterile Environment. So now I'm kind of torn. I'm like, I don't know which camera to bring in here because they're going to require me to wipe every piece of gear down before I bring it in here. They just told me this. They said, okay, every piece of gear you bring in here, we're going to have to wipe down and sanitize. So I'm kind of torn. I end up deciding to bring just the gimbal and FX30 and some extra batteries. We wipe it down by hand, and then it gets locked away in this room. That's all the equipment we're bringing in. This environment is just super, super strict. It took like 10-15 minutes for us to get all suited up to come in here. It's a very high standard, and it's very important that the environment stays pure and like literally perfect because this is where they make drugs. It's extremely important. And being in this environment was so weird to me. It was such a foreign environment. I'm not used to a place that is so strict. Sometimes you'll come up and there'll be a red line on the ground and you cannot cross that red line. If you do, there could be major consequences. You could shut down a part of that building. You could make the staff need to spend 3 hours cleaning up after you. So it was a very odd environment for me. But having the small setup proved to be so useful, because it took time to move from one space of this area to the other because the rules were very strict. And having a small setup made it perfect. We could get movement shots, we could get steady shots, and we had the client with us the whole time. And it's very technical, the kind of shots that they want. So we constantly were checking in with the client to see exactly what they want. This is an example of that red line. This is an even more restricted space that they were going to take us into. Actually, we couldn't even go into it because it would have been a pain. But getting the process of him double suiting up, like he had to suit up to a whole new level to go into this area. That's Chad going in there. And then we got shots of their staff. And just like the boss he is, Nick was rocking his Fuji with a prime. Let's go. And for the most secure area that we visited today, we shot it all through the window. And actually, it was a really cool look. When we needed a scene acted out, our actors were on standby and ready to go, and they just snapped in and killed it. Once we left the super sanitary area, we shot one more scene from a window, used the FS7 because we could have a nice zoom pull. Then we moved locations and grabbed our sunset exterior shots. Nick even jumped in and grabbed a sick B-roll shot here. At this point, everyone was starving, so we had to sit down and eat and take a little time. Guess who put in our mobile order for us, though? Caught. Love that guy. While we're eating, Nick looks through the shot list with the client to see what we got and to see what we have left, and we realize there's just one shot left. It's a detail shot of someone using the app. You see, this whole video shoot is about a new app that these guys have developed, which people use in sterile lab type environments. So we set up a shot that looks like someone's in a lab using the app. That's the end. Great job, guys. That's a wrap. I really enjoyed working with everyone here, from the corporate company to the local staff to the actors to Nick. Everyone was just a joy to work with. But before we could leave, Chad had something to show us.
So this is for a couple of things. Remote assist. So you know how like you'll be calling somebody and you'll be like, hey, move I can't see it, like you're FaceTiming somebody. Yeah. And they can't see what you're seeing. This is a computer in your eye.
Dang.
It's got AI into it too.
Oh crap.
Hey, view 6. Turn camera on. Take picture. View 6. Start recording.
Now it's recording. I'm surprised you didn't bring that in.
It's only commanding my voice right now. So on the side there's some sensors. So what you can
pretty
do is
snazzy.
you can articulate this.
Oh yeah,
you
I
gotta
can see
get
it.
in. You can bring it further away.
Oh yeah.
So you gotta get it positioned in your eye right first.
Oh dude, that's wild.
And when you're finished, like if you don't want it in your eye, you
Yeah.
just move the handle up like this.
Oh, and then you're just like,
Your hand's free.
that's great. Dude, that is.
What
So
are you looking at?
our division
It's like
called
a video screen. That's crazy.
Dang.
Oh, aimed at eye level as well. Like it's from that point of view.
Yes.
It's not like, trying to do one of these.
It's like FPV.
Yeah. Dumping footage late at night.
Yep. Making sure the shots look good.
Yeah, they're looking good.
And that's the end of that shoot. It's 12:42. I've got an hour and a half drive home, but I stayed late to just connect with guys and respond to DMs and stuff like that. And yeah, just mainly just stay late to connect, and I'm really glad I did. Became friends with the clients, became closer friends with Nick. It's been great bonding with Nick and like getting to know him. He's like such a talented guy. I really like working with him. I hope we get to work together again in the future. And the client was so happy. They were telling us, they're like, we're gonna book you like quick again. We want you both on another shoot real soon. It's gonna be in like another state though. So I'm excited. Everyone was just great, and it's just awesome working with them all. And I'm so happy that our shots turned out pretty good. So, and the colors looked great. So, solid shoot. All right, I'm holding my hand here to keep this light on. If you're in the Bay Area, if you're near me in Half Moon Bay Area or San Francisco Bay Area, and you ever want to connect, send me a DM on Instagram. Let's hang out. This whole channel is about connecting and building relationships with people. So, I'm here to connect with you. Leave a comment, introduce yourself. Glad to have you here. Thanks for hanging with me today. See y'all. Bye.